She take people down. Summit G's having a good time. I have a feeling this one's going to be a little bit closer, man. I just don't think it's going to be a blowout.
No, I don't think so either, as we're going to start off with Suspector, and that lineup's actually pretty damn big, and Mines as well. I was talking about him previously where, you know, we first started noticing him from the Halo 2 Beaster scene, coming on to Halo 2 PC on MCC, and we have to see exactly what he can do on Halo Infinite. But it's like I said, that with the weaponry in their arsenal and what's going to come, we're going to see a lot more multi-kills here, Spaceman, especially considering it is going to be on Total Control. So, of course, if you guys don't know how Total Control works, basically, it's not like Strongholds where you have to try and hold at least 2 or 3 of the points in order to collect points. Basically, you need to control all 3 points to then be able to score, and then it resets, and you have to go back to square one and do it again and again until it's first to 3 or to 5, I believe. So, you know, pretty long with the game, but at the same time, though, this is when the multi-kills are going to fly here.
Yeah, and I don't know how many nerd spots we're going to see in this game mode, but if you hide inside the broken Pelican in C, you can actually contest the point. So there have been so many times where I've been online with friends and we're struggling. Like, we're just getting our backs broken, but we sneak over to C, we hide inside the cockpit. They can't find us. We win the game. We're elite. That's what I love about big team battles. You can pull off these ridiculous comebacks. Speaking of which, the Ravager at range, don't sleep on it. That area of effect, that extra fire you can hold down, it does so much damage over time. It's a lot like the shock rifle, where sometimes you just need to hit a couple of shots and you're good.
It's perfect for if your opponent's in the objective as well and you want to hold it down just to do a line of fire at least, then it's a great way just to try and keep him at bay, or just keep him pincered, or at least be a real pain in the backside and just try and keep him on the far back. But you can see already to switching back and forth back onto Stella now to see exactly what shenanigans he's going to be up to. He's got the heat wave actually, so he's looking to see if he can bring a little bit more flair here whilst he's trying to collect this next point.
Well, the beauty of Halo is that every weapon is viable, and I feel like I lied to the public. I said the BR was my favorite. It's not. It's actually the Needler Lethal. I completely lied. You know why? Because it's so good. It's so good up close. But what's even better is hit your shots with the AR. Speaking of which, we're looking to get that last C tick locked down, and, well, we'll get a decap quickly, but still, you're just trying to get reinforcements up to help the rest of your team, because quickly in big team battle, you can get, you know, kind of pushed behind. You can lose that objective. You have to make sure you get at least 1 home point.
I'm not going to lie to you, going back to the Needler, I think that it's the first time out of any Halo I've played where I've actually tried to put it to good use, or just have it in my arsenal in terms of like trying to make a push, or at least trying to outplay them in some way if it's some kind of close range battle. But yeah, it's literally this Halo Infinite's actually the first time I've gone, actually, do you know what? I'm going to have a bit of a dabble with, you know, in terms of actually using that Needler. So I was a little bit surprised how good it was until I started using it myself.
It's the rate of fire, isn't it? It's just insane. It lights up, and it was way overpowered in the beta. I'm glad they've toned it down a little bit. But speaking of overpowered, a heat wave up close is about as deadly as you can get. Again, C is going to be heavily contested for the majority of this game. That's really how this map plays out on Deadlock. But when you look at kind of the outskirts, right? When you're moving from A, you can pick up the Warthog off spawn, pick up a Mongoose, try to escape up the middle of the map. That's where you're going to run into a lot of the snipers, a lot of the rocket launchers. So you got to be careful when you try to move your way through this map. However, a lot of it comes down to just wiping team after team. So if you get lucky, get teammates in position, you can sneak up behind, control the center of the map, and then try to push into the base with something like a chopper, which clearly in hand Stellar's favoring.
It certainly is. Stellar 6 kills to his name. Beaver Senpai, assume that Sneaky Beaver's also with 6 kills then. There's actually a lot of assists across the board. STR8SICK, I know what kind of... You got to remember, this is a FFA man, you know. This is a guy who reacts to gunfire for days, and he's so damn good at it. And this is why he's one of the best FFA players in Halo history, really, I would say. And that's why he's got 7 assists. Just damage dealing across the board, inflicting, just putting a lot of pressure onto his opponents on top of that. But I just realised Lethal on the opposite team's got 10, or I say it now, 11.
I feel like it's almost expected for Lethal at this point. Like, if he's not dropping 50 bombs in creator lobbies, we'd be like, hey, Lethal, did you really win the open last night? Did you really show up big? Yeah, they did. And it was going to be interesting to see how Sentinels were spread up in this tournament, because everybody expected them to be playing, but really we had to wait for the HCS to conclude. And then once it did, it was, okay, who's the mad dash to who? And, well, we see Snakebite going to TST. We got Royal jumping to a different squad, and Lethal now in the lobby with the most kills so far. 11 and only 3 deaths, got 2 assists to his name. And that's why we love Rockets. You can pick up kills like that, help your teammates find the assists, dipping and diving out of cover. But we got 2 holds at the moment, and B's the only one locked up still that they need to cap, and, well, we got numbers moving over.
Yeah, it's like we said before, if you don't know much about big team battle or the game type Total Control, you need to get all 3 points in order to score, and then it completely resets afterwards. But still, though, it's just both teams riding that struggle bus. Don't get me wrong, like, the red team, I expected them, considering the lineup on paper here, Spaceman, you'd think, okay, this should this could be over pretty quickly here. But you know what? STR8SICK and Racing are doing a great job just holding their own at the moment. And yeah, I certainly would clip it, considering the amount of work he's doing with that shock rifle. But it's back to it for now, but just keeping it in hand. Hasn't got much ammo left either.
Well, he's thinking about picking up the grab hammer. Don't blame him. Now that he has it, he also lets you know that Game Pass has PC games. And listen, when you get to those dynamo grenades, if you have to lock vehicles on their rotation, do that. Just make it absolute chaos. And here comes the grab hammer. Can't find anything. Shut down by King J, who, of course, has been getting scrimsing with Snakebite. A couple of shots ring out towards the Ghost, but it's still chaos currently over at C. You can use the cockpit for cover. Be careful, though. Those nades will disrupt any push you have with a Warthog. Everything even at this point, and, well, not much has happened at C. We still don't have a cap here, and we still have a 2-wheel game.
Yeah, it was commonly STR8SICK and Stellar then. A moment was like, I don't really want to be part of that, really. I'm just going to back away and just try and at least get the flank around or try and back off the rest of my team. Just couldn't do it in the nick of time, sadly for him. But some nice kills here. Coming out from Lethal, just added another one to the tally. I've got the double, looking for the triple, trying to pace his shots, because obviously there's a tiny bit of recoil with the pistol, especially at that range. And still, zero. I'm speechless here, Spaceman. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have to cap all 3 points. It's not just as simple as holding for 2. And with that shot, which was pretty clean, again, you have to be careful at range. You never know. Oh, we get Bolo with the ballista.
Wait, you got a double as well.
Hey, Steve Downs, Mr. Chief, give us your thoughts on that play real quick.
I don't know what to say. Like, honestly, mate, the skewer at long range, especially that range, is pretty damn difficult. But that is definitely going to be one for the ages there's moment now. Just still continuing to pile on the pressure. Finally gets taken down, thank God as well, considering that he has been an absolute menace with that skewer. And, you know, you're all right there, Spaceman. Game Pass is for PC games, and already now using that shock rifle, just trying to back away again, just trying to do a little bit more if he can to try and do some extra damage, because right now the red team just pushing on forward and trying to get that next objective.
And it's amazing how quickly this games can flip, right, Lethal? Like, you feel like you have some control, right? Maybe you get A, you get C, B is the hardest one, then you flip it back to maybe a CB hold. At this point, you are just hoping that you have a home base you can rally to, because all you need is one. You just need 1 point you can work off of, everything else being neutral. You're hoping you just win your gunfights following, but still, the pistol is great at any range. Great shots there. We'll take down Hunter. And only a couple more over at B, but this is where you'd love to have some extra nades to maybe flush out players, maybe even rockets, some power weapons to use. At this point, you are hoping you get back to mid-map, because the last thing you want to do is get pinched inside your home base.
Absolutely, but that's where the multi-kills are going to start occurring here. Good long-range shots with the AR. We know how difficult it is, and of course there is extra hit points on the head with the AR, which is a nice little bonus just to make the AR a little bit more useful. But it's going to be back and forth AR battle, which I don't think I'd be seeing considering the weaponry we've been witnessing across the board. And already now, though, Sneaky Beaver just hiding with the rest of the team, just hoping, praying at this stage to collect this next point if they can, and that'll be absolutely huge. As Sneaky Beaver, you know, doing his job wisely, just being sneaky, getting around, trying to get a double, could not, or was not able to in the end, but inflicts enough damage to put his opponents at bay.
Now, what is your play here, Lethal? If you're in this lobby, right, are you focused on trying to get the power weapons and cap as quickly as possible? What are you thinking when you're running against some high-level content creators, and even some of the other side like Lethal, who's put 15 on the board so far?
If it was me, I'd probably go for BR or Commando straight away. You normally spawn on the backside underneath the base, and it depends how greedy you are, you know. I'd probably say just pick up one. There's been times when I played Big Team Battle, I played Deadlock, and for some reason I'm watching him on death screen, and I see them both picking up the BR and Commando, and I'm just like, how dare you? Like, how dare you just not sharing and caring? Sharing is caring at the end of the day. But, like, you know, I try and pick up the BR, at least get the pistol as well. Sometimes the AR depends on the circumstances, and we just go from there. Because, honestly, the BR, mate, on this map especially, it's just so OP.
Because you can just catch people moving between the rocks, trying to move their way towards a Warthog. And, well, the heat wave is good. Not that good, though. You can't really cut down people when they fly through with the Warthog. You got a Gunner and Hunter in the back, and here comes a chance for a couple of sprees. There's an assist for 1, maybe 2, and we'll move our way through C nice and easy. So we've capped 2. We only need 1 more. And if you're Stellar and company, this is where you kind of lock down. This is where you have to at least put some pressure and put the foot on the gas, pun intended, and move your way into the base, try to lock them down and win this game, because they can go right back. But we got a couple of caps on A. It looks like this could be it.
It certainly could be. Finally, Spaceman, we've been waiting a while, mate, but we're finally going to get the first points. It's going to go in favor of Stellar's squad, which is, you know, considering I'm not surprised at the same time. We haven't seen that much objective efficiency, or the fact it's been rotating, or the rotation being back and forth. Because in terms of slaying power, in terms of the kill feed as well, you can see that it's very, very even, and it's a little bit of a shock.
It is a little bit. I'm surprised that really with the durations of which some of these contests were going on each hill that it lasted this long, but we also expected this one to be a little bit closer because Deadlock is just a tough map to win on, regardless of the game mode, whether it's CTF, whether you're even playing just normal Slayer. It's a tough map with the amount of different ways you can approach it. So we'll see what happens with the Skewer in hand for the moment. As Stellar trying to work his way up the rocks, and a couple of different options you can use here, right? Do I try to regroup with teammates? Maybe that is the play as we move back down to the ground, but still, here's a hunt for a kill, and we'll move back over and switch POVs. But again, another 2-hill cap. We'll see what Team STR8SICK can do as they are looking to get one on the board.
Or at least it's not like the major clan match H2 days of this, Spaceman, where literally, you know, some games will be a 2-hour, 1-bomb headlong game, and it's just taken absolutely forever. But, you know, some people like that. You know, it's a game of chess, really, to a certain degree, but it was just menacing, and there were some great big team battle players in the past. But going back to this matchup, though, we can see exactly what the blue team could do, and considering though they've got A and C, they could pincer all their opponents in B if they want to, or as they see fit. And they've got some good weapons in the arsenal. They've got Skewer, they've got the rockets as well, and looking pretty sweet here.
This is where I would love to have the grapple hook, just in case. Just in case. You got rockets, you got Skewer, you can hit some trick shots. Surely these rockets will be used in a moment. Here's a Skewer, almost clips him on the shoulder. That would have been a free kill. Zone capture doesn't matter. That's 2 locked down. And this would be one hell of a way to bring this one back. They were down 2, they get 2 back. Now all you need to see, you have 2 power weapons to use. That is a rolling nade. That was a little bit weird, but who cares? A couple of shots in the back. Just have to stay alive with these power weapons.
Yeah, I can't believe he's alive. Even getting a trade there was remarkable. But even then, though, I can't believe Game Pass is PC games either. So, you know, this not to take in. But looking at those, Stellar, 21 kills. Lethal's not too far behind them with 19 and 12. 7 assists adding to the tally. But look at this blue team. Are actually going to come back. They're actually going to tie things up with 3 minutes left here.
Yeah, they really are. Well, I was thinking maybe that Sentinel skin might do enough. Go check out the esports skins in the shop if you haven't already. And if you win any money today, that's plenty of time. But here come new sights in as the team in blue will get at least 1 point back. So we have a tie game, and that's kind of how we expected this to go, Lethal.
Exactly that. 3 minutes left, though. Seeing what you can do with the Ravager. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'm not a huge fan. These moments I'm not a huge fan, but do you know what? He's doing a much better job than I would with the Ravager. Let's put it that way. As you know, when you hold in for the charge as well, you've got the flame. It kind of helps a tad, but he's just a little bit too out of range for that. So he's going to try and capture B on his own, and we're going to see if anyone can help out King J. But looks like Winter's going to be clawing his way behind him, adding another one. That's going to be, he's going 18 and 9, 14 assists as well. The man's been doing damage.
Winter playing very sneaky with camo now. I mean, this could be at least half a cap. Hopefully he has someone to help out. Ravager up close is great for splash damage, but it's not great when trying to take out one at a time. Maybe you switch to your pistol trying to clean up the kill. Unfortunately, he was kind of getting dribble teamed. But with all that said, it looks like we have a split across the board. A should be locked and C should be locked. So B will be the next contest, and that is where you try to get numbers over. However, a pistol fight going down, that nade's not great. Now how do you recover? Maybe you get to C.
Certainly could do. It's only A which is going to hold him by for now. But his question is, can they at least try and hold him back on spawners? So they're pushing on forward. The BR whipping out here. And of MISSLEHCAR. And you can see now just trying to back away from the hog. Sadly for her, though, it's just not going to happen. Just barely not able to get away. A little bit of a shame considering she was doing a lot of damage, but now we're switching over to Sneaky Beaver. We've seen a lot of Sneaky Beaver so far, and you know, I don't mind because he's bringing, again, a lot of flair onto the server to see if it can continue the amendment here. But even then, no, blue team's still coming back. Managed to grab A, but still waiting to pick up B at the same time now. And this is their moment. You've got to remember, there's only a minute 15 left, and they really need to get things going.
I love the moment we see the banished turret, it just immediately blows up. It's so classic Halo. And speaking of classic Halo, things turn on a dime. A and C both contested and potentially locked. You have a Ghost there for support, but the AR is just doing absolute work. Frosty letting them know who the true man is, and B should be capped as well. This is a very quick round. That's going to be 2-1. JardedFPS and company getting it done. They have the lead.
I'm not gonna lie to you, though. Like, if it was an AR from a previous Halo, I wouldn't even debate it. But like, when you see like a BR or a Commando or something, and you want to pick it up, you kind of struggle what you want to drop when you don't. Of course, you are gonna stick with the pistol, but the AR just plays, you know, plays some massive moments considering the circumstance or what kind of scenario you put yourself in here.
Yeah.
Nobody's Stellar just doing a lot of damage here, just respecting the Bloom as well. He's going to have to push on forward, sadly, but he does have the sword, so hopefully he can try and get one. He managed to get one there, hoping to try and go for the second, but at the same time, though, does manage to get some pistol ammo to keep him going a little bit longer.
Just don't advertise that you have the sword out too long, because they will very quickly turn their attention, be like, he's got the sword, get him down. And that's what you see there. Even here, everything locked up. See, the last point they have to cap. Could this be a quick win? These last 2 rounds have been very, very brutal. That's a 360 that goes nowhere. But regardless, it looks like that might have been it. It will be. And you'll get a 2-1 scoreline. So in all, it was pretty contested down the stretch, but Jared FPS and company, they get it done.
They certainly did. Like, on paper, you did